LATICRETE Pro Tips, professional tips from the industry leader. How to use a wet film gauge. A wet film gauge is a tool used to measure the thickness of liquid material before it dries to determine how thick the liquid is. LATICRETE uses wet film gauges to measure the wet thickness of waterproofing membranes, anti-fracture membranes, and moisture vapor barrier liquids. The wet film gauge is a flat piece of metal that incorporates a series of notches cut into the sides much like the teeth on a comb. Each of the notches represents a thickness measured in mils. To measure the wet film of a liquid is easy. Simply dip the wet film gauge into the liquid in several locations to determine the average thickness. Look at the tips of the notches to see where the liquid has made contact. Look for the notches where the liquid stops appearing. The location between these notches is the wet film mil thickness of the liquid you are measuring. To help apply the correct thickness of the material you are using, put a marker on the wet film gauge to indicate the thickness you desire to achieve. Always check with your manufacturer on their proper mil thicknesses and try to apply the proper amount. Too much liquid commonly will take longer to dry and yield less square footage or square meterage. Too thin a material and it may not work as it should if it is a waterproofing, anti-fracture, or moisture vapor membrane. Contact your local LATICRETE representative for a wet film gauge when you are applying our liquid membranes. For additional information on pro tips and LATICRETE product information, visit our website at www.laticrete.com.